Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Darkworld support. Yes, they're getting even more support and a very strange new boss monster coming out in the game in Darkwing Blast, as well as a new underworld monster that's going to be a link monster. So let's go and get started with the new Darkworld support, because I'm assuming that's why you guys clicked on the video. But if you're excited about it, drop a like on it. But let's get started. So Genta, the Gateman of Darkworld, is a brand new Dark Fiend effect, level 4, 1000 attack, 1800 defense points. And it says you can only special summon Genta, Gatekeeper of Darkworlds, once per turn. The first part of it says you can discard this card to add 1 Gates of the Darkworld from your deck to your hand. So we have a field spell searcher. That's so important. The second part is if this card becomes banished and you control a Darkworld card, you can special summon this card. Wow, fantastic. This is excellent brand new support for the deck for sure. I mean, just this effect alone, people would have ran it, right? Because Gates, pretty important card. Next up, we have Pearl Hermit of the Darkworld. Dark Fiend effect, level 1, 300 attack, 100 defense points. Last one was it? Level 4. Okay, so you can 1-for-1 this target. So it says you can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 Darkworld monster in graveyard except for Pearl Hermit of Darkworld and special summon it to either field. Then, if this card was discarded by a opponent's card effect, you can special summon one of your fiend monsters that is banished in your hand or in your graveyard to either field. Okay, so this is actually a pretty decent effect. I believe it was the card Cerulli. So I believe Cerulli has this effect where if it's discarded by an effect, you get a special summon to the graveyard to your opponent's side of the field. And then when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Darkworld card, your opponent must discard 1 card, which basically makes it so, yeah, it works well with Cerulli. This is like one of the cards that you actually want to give to your opponent. So I guess that would be an option if you did happen to do that, because it is either side of the field. Okay, next up we have the Darkworld Library. So they're getting another continuous spell card, and it says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is during your main phase, you can discard a Darkworld monster, and if you do, all Darkworld monsters you currently control gain attack equal to the discarded monster's level times 100 until the end of this turn. Okay, cool enough. Being able to get a boost and another discard outlet is always good, and because it's continuous, that's quite nice. The second effect is if your monster whose original type is Fiend is discarded by the effect of a Darkworld card or an opponent's card, even during the damage step, you can discard 1 card, then draw 2. Whoa, that's even better. Like, I mean, I was expecting, you know, draw 1, discard 2, but discard 1, draw 2. That could be pretty dang good, considering it is continuous. Dang, this is actually looking a lot better for Darkworld. Okay, now we're going to go over some reprints for some cards now. So Lucent is getting a reprint. Latinium is also getting a reprint. So really, hey, we just talked about that card. And then also Fabled Raven getting a reprint. Charge in the Darkworld, Card Destruction, Darkworld Brainwashing, Mind Crush, and Snow, and Gates of the Darkworld. These are all, I guess, getting reprinted in here. So it's looking pretty good for Darkworld for sure. But we're not done with new cards. So we have Muralogic Aggregator. So this is the new card that I thought was really weird with this effect. So let's check it out. So it's a new boss monster that's a rank 9 Dark Cyber Succeeds effect monster, 2600 attack, 3000 defense points, and it requires 2+ level 9 monsters. So it says you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is if this card exceeds 7, you get to send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. So that's pretty good. In chess can pop 1. We have what's it, Arclight to search out something too. There's probably a lot of other cards, but that effect alone is okay. The second part is you can target monsters in your graveyard up to the number of materials attached to this card. Detach materials from this card equal to the number targeted, and if you do, you get to attach the targeted monsters to this card as material. I really wish this was a quick effect, because then you can like make it so your opponent may not be able to banish certain cards. Would have a lot more utility. But I was actually looking up cards, and I'm curious, and you guys will have to help me out with this. What is it? Is it attached as? I think it's as material. So there's a lot of card where it says like if you exceed 7 using this card as material. I don't know if there's a keyword when this card is attached as material, because if you look up like the keyword, it was attached as material. It's not. It's usually when it's used for the monster as an exceed summon. As material, you gain that bonus effect. But I'm wondering, is there any Yu-Gi-Oh cards where like if you have it as material, you gain its effect. What's the key word with this? And is there any cards that would actually work for it? I'm curious to know, like, if there's some sort of bonus that you would get via it being attached, if that makes any sense. I don't know what the keyword is because I was actually looking up for this video, because I think this effect is very interesting, and being able to completely change some of the attachments would be cool. I know certain Exceed monsters will say if you have this card as material, you gain this effect, but obviously this card doesn't have that. But it's got another third effect. So if this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to target one face-up card on the field, negate its effects until the end of this turn. So another little bonus over there. So I don't know, again, what you would use it for. Maybe you can like rank up with it and then have other material attached to it, and then once you rank up, you'll have the correct appropriate material for certain like archetypes. It could be cool. It's definitely a weirder boss monster. It's kind of strange, but I like it. I like where, you know, it makes people's brains start, you know, to think a little bit. All right, next up we have a new Underworld. So this is news reporter from the Underworld, or Deathcaster as it's called in the OCG, which we probably would never get in the TCG for the name. So here's the artwork on it. It looks like it's a link to with a link zone pointing towards the bottom. It's a dark with 1,000 attack, and it's zone. Oh, and you know what? It's zones on the bottom and on the left. So bottom and left. And it's 2 effect monsters, and it says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So it cannot be used as link material the turn it was linked summoned. The first part is if a monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you distribute 1 Fiend monster instead. It happens to be Fiend too. Okay. Second part is you could target 1 Fiend monster in your graveyard, except for news reporter from the Underworld. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except for Fiend monsters. Also, discard 1 card, and if you do, special summon that monster. Might be able to be, you know, playable in Dark Worlds, but more likely you just bounce back for the other like Grapha stuff. But nonetheless, it is a new Yu-Gi-Oh card. But let me know you guys' thoughts on any of the cards that we talked about down below. But thanks for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and you want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards come out in Darkwing Blast in the future, subscribe to the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.